Continuing with our table theme, we're going to make use of the contacts extract T-C, which is our table of contacts data, but in colour. And I've kept the banding in place, so we have two-tone purple. So we have a lightish purple, and then a lilac purple, and then a very dark purple with white text for the header. Now our next stage is to look at how we could add more columns and rows to our existing table. The addition of rows is very simple. Start anywhere in the table, go to the end, and then go to the end on the right, and we effectively get to the very last cell, and we could get there like this with Control End, or we can tab along, and all you need to do from the very last cell is tab, and a new row is added to your table, and you simply then enter that new person in. I would tab across, adding in the relevant information that I might have or not have, and any information obviously then is calculated. Those calculated columns are just carried through. So if I were to enter somebody's date of birth here, August 2nd, 1976, they are male. As soon as we get towards the calculated column at the end, you'll see it's already calculated. It says that this new person is 39. If I then want to add another record, I simply tab at the last cell, and we're into a new row, and we start inputting. Adding new rows to our table at the end of the table is very simple indeed. Down to the bottom right-hand cell, tab, and off we go. That makes the data entry very, very simple. Now, if we wanted to insert some rows partway through the table, that's still not an issue. Come higher up, let's say, for example, here. On the home ribbon, if we go along to the Insert option, you'll see there is an Insert Table Rows Above option. And this will insert as many rows as we have highlighted. Well, we're currently in one cell, so if I click Insert Rows Above, it will simply insert one row above and move the rest of the data down. Notice how it retains the banded rows. I've inserted one above, that then becomes the darker purple and the light purple, and everything moves down and gets alternated again. And then I could input a new person here, give them a date of birth, September the 9th, 1981. When we get to the end, we find it's calculated their age as 34. So we can insert rows at the end very simply, or partway through. We can also remove rows at our leisure. It's just the same as a range in that respect. Highlight the rows of information that you would like to get rid of. In this case, I'm just highlighting the row I've just added. Go to Delete, Delete Sheet Rows, and you can see it's gone, and the banding is recalculated all the way down, so it's still alternate, light dark, light dark, light dark. Very simple indeed. Inserting a new column, click your cursor where you would like the new column to the left of, so let's go into this suffix column. I don't need to be at the top, I don't need to highlight the column. On the home ribbon, Insert, and we see there's an option for Insert Table Columns to the left. One click, and I get a new column to the left of suffix called Column 1, which I can then obviously give a much more sensible name. We'll call it Award. And then I have a new column of information for all my contacts that I can then write an award in. The only slight drawback really to using tables is if the data isn't as wide as the title and the filter, you do need to widen the column slightly so you can see the whole field name, like email address there, for example. Just needs slightly widening, just so that the filter icon isn't obstructing the column heading. Just as we got rid of the row, we can get rid of the column. We highlight the column we'd like to get rid of, delete and sheet columns, and it's gone. And if I had banded columns, the banded columns would sort themselves out. Now we've seen we can extend the table downwards by simply adding more rows by tabbing out of the bottom right-hand corner. We can add further columns to the right, should we wish to, by simply going to the next blank column, typing in a column heading, such as passport number, and then either enter or tab, whatever it is that you usually need to end your entry in that cell, and you'll see that the table is automatically extended to the right to include your new column. I just need to widen it slightly, but it's there. As long as you don't go here, leaving a gap, you actually are the next blank column, then Excel will make the assumption you want to add the new column in. It may be that I would like to add in spouse, again return. Now, if you're not wanting to add this column into your table, that's okay. You've got a little get out of jail drop down here where you can undo table auto expansion, and you can even turn off the automatic expanding of tables. So when you add another column in future, it never expands. Well, I certainly don't want to turn off that option, stop automatically expanding, because I use it. But for this case, I don't actually want spouse to be within my data. I undo the table auto expansion, and spouse remains a column by itself held outside of the table. So it's not affected by any of the formatting that I might apply, any of the sorting that I might apply, any of the actions at all that I carry out to my table. So it is a bit of a little dangerous column sat there, but it means it's not associated with the data in the table. We can add columns and remove columns. We can add columns to the end very easily. We can decide whether that column at the end is part of the table data or not. We can add rows. Bottom right-hand corner tab adds a new row automatically into the table. We can use our table effectively as a little mini storage location, a little mini database in effect.